And here we go back to the tiebreaker, our first tiebreaker of the day. This is going to decide the seeding between 4th and 5th. And pragmatically, it's only going to come down to who gets the first game side selection. So there is still some stuff on the stakes, but not, I wouldn't say the biggest of stakes necessarily. CFO, they are going to do a level 1 invade into the top spot, spotted out by YSKM. I did not see them force a hook shot in level 1, and it seems like Frank Esports are going to get the vision advantage with the deep board on red buff.
Yeah, nice little play coming out from CFO to try and fish for a catch onto YSKM, but YSKM actually walking out of that tri-bush to scout ahead, just get a little bit of vision, actually pays off quite nicely in that situation. And that means he gets to keep, well, I suppose he doesn't really have a flash to keep in this situation, but he does get to keep that skill point on his E if he, which I assume he probably wouldn't want at level 1.
Yeah, I definitely think you want the probably the sweep or the Q level 1, a little bit stronger.
Either option feels better.
Oh, Shun just going to start a level 1 fight right off the bat, going on to the Alistar. Very standard try and punish. The Ignite goes down, and Karis nearly falls here. Great trade coming in. Ignite for Flash in the bottom side already.
Alan on the Callista. That'll be a big focus because of the fact that perhaps the more skilled AD carry of this duo is Shun. Yet Alan perhaps not comfortable on playing any of the support champions. So Shun taking up the mantle in this instance, it's going to put him under quite the microscope. Yet this level 1, good start there.
And we're taking a look at the level 2 trades top lane. Res already establishing quite a comfortable position. An interesting start from YSKM as well. He actually started longsword. Typically it has been something else. Level 2 all in trade. Yeah, just light tap here and there, but level 2 is going to be equalized out. And mission against Silas early on, finding himself in a comfortable position, shoving it in to be somewhat expected here.
Yeah, this matchup is going to be really about how much CS can Pretender get under the relentless pressure coming in from Mission on this Azir pick. Who, when it comes to lane dominance, that's definitely been Mission's trademark. Outside of lane can be a bit of a struggle, but for Pretender it's been sort of the complete opposite. Lane phase, not so great, but when it comes to these team fights, that's where he really does shine.
Whoops, it looks like they actually forgot to give the Dark Spear over earlier on. They had a very early level 1 invade, and I just think that because of the need to get to the invade, they actually didn't use the Dark Spear. So, wow, that's actually pretty big.
It's not too costly because of the fact that the W can be hard to apply and you don't skill it up until level 3 anyways.
Yeah, that's true.
So the extra damage you're getting there, maybe not so relevant in this instance. And whenever you go for a level 1, it is very difficult to throw down the spear in time before everyone leaves the base.
Absolutely, and we're going to be taking a look at the first potential gank coming in. Polo wants to alleviate some pressure on this bottom side. Lots of wards and scuttle coming in. And we do have double TPs onto the top lane. This is where you see the Camille get a lot more powerful as she does pack Machine here. So do you think any of these matchups are going to be shifting in favor of Frank Esports a little bit more after this first back?
YSKM certainly in PowerPoint, right? Because of that extra Sheen purchase. And when it comes to the spot lane, even if you do get some items onto the Zeri, it's not going to have quite the impact that any sort of itemization that you get on the Callisto would, at least at this part of the game, right? Where this is very much in Callisto's wheelhouse. Gemini coming in for a fast gank.
Ooh, there is no flash onto YSKM. Can he get out with the hook shot? He's going to try, but the Q still does land. Red buff applied. A couple auto attacks going through. YSKM actually turning this one around for some extra HP. Plays it nicely, but he still has the base here. He's only on 200 HP.
Yeah, will be forced to recall in this situation. I don't think he's too unhappy about the situation though, as Hollow will be spotted on that ward. And now he's going to make his way up top lane to probably help break that freeze for YSCam after he clears the Krugs, of course. As the wave, not in a great spot, but because of the fact that Hollow is up here, should be just fine.
Yeah, and Holo, I think he is going to establish some vision there into the top side. Oh, actually, that was from YSCam earlier on. But they do need a hover just to prevent a repeat gank from coming in. In the meantime, we're looking at Gemini trying to bait out Pretender here. Both of them now with the Emperor's Divide, so this could get real spicy real fast. Let's see, Pretender fishing for the abduct, but doesn't land. Mission just going to continue to push away as we see the first Drake being started here by CFO with that winning bottom.
Yeah, winning bottom lane, also winning mid lane with just a lot of priority. Coming in from the Zir. Almost 20 CS lead here for Mission, which is exactly what we expect out of our best laning mid laner in the league. All things considered, this doesn't seem too bad of a spot for Frankie Esports. We do like the scaling offered by the squad. The only carry you're really worried about later on in the game, I would say, is going to be Mission on the Zir. So perhaps they're going to try to roam the Alistar to apply some pressure onto the Zir pick now.
Seems to be a good first step to get on the board. Neither team has a first blood, but in we go with the Axec ultimatum. The Camille does land the stun, and there goes Rest. No flash, can't get out of the situation. Holo with a beautiful engage as well. And that will be Camille off to a roaring start. Should it overtake the gold lead? I think she will get a plate here too.
Pretty smooth execution there. And this is exactly what we outlined in the draft, right? Where this is all set up to just get that first reset very easily for Hollow. And we just see it in pretty much perfect execution in that instance. Not in a teamfight setting, mind you, but it also still showcases how simple it is. You just throw the Hextech ultimatum and everyone just targets that target because you get the knockback even once we get into the teamfight portion. And you just get the kill.
Yeah, that seems so incredibly easy. There's nothing really Rest could do here, and I feel like this is one of those comps where the Gwen Hollowed Mist doesn't actually do all that much from you. Like, you prevent Zeri, but the rest of them can still deal a lot of damage.
Yeah, you still get a little bit of the damage reduction, but certainly you're not getting the most value out of it regardless. And it's going to really come down to the ult usage. Of course, in the current iteration of Gwen, she's almost like a nuke with that ultimate, where she does get the Shadow Flame is just so much magic pen that if it applies onto multiple members, you're shredding people incredibly hard on top of just healing loads of HP.
And taking a look at the jungler positions right here, we did have Gemini backing up Rest on that push in the bottom side, and then a little bit of an adventure for carries as he drops multiple wards onto the bottom lane. We could be seeing a dive if it does happen. You know, the Alistar great with that, and of course Hollow great with that as well. Hollow gonna go for a repeat gank. Rest, of course, still no flash, and the Hextech ultimatum just about to come up. Ooh. Catch on that one. See if he does go for it. Seems like they'll wait a while, just dropping the control ward onto this one.
And this is also great for the bot lane of Frankie Esports right now as well, because of the fact that there hasn't been any kills happening down there. You are pretty confident in being, hey, this Zeri should outscale, but now here comes a repeat.
Hextech ultimatum to start. There's not much Rest can do about this. Let's see the needle work. He is able to dodge out of the hook shot, and Ignite goes down. Can he actually find the 1v2? He does get that kill. Polo does clean that up in the end, but what a great play coming in from Rest.
Gemini on the flank.
Just looking for his opportunity to go in onto this one. Shin also fishing for a chance at the tower dive. They drop the Herald. 3 plates already taken down here. Excuse me, that's actually just going to be 4. I can't count right now. And CFO going to look for even more onto the bottom side.
This is a great spike for the side of CFO. They managed to trade 1-for-1 up in the top lane. You would, for Frank Esports, a little bit disappointing that they weren't able to keep YSKM alive in this situation. It's still a gank that sort of pays off, at least being able to continue to slow Rest down to a certain degree. But this is what we also expect out of Rest, right? He is one of the few players that can turn these player down situations or 1vx situations into an even trade.
Yeah, what beautiful diving there coming in from Rest. He manages to get out of the hook shot, then turn things around. The stun would have killed him for sure. Very good nimble movements on this Gwen. Helps him stay out of harm's way. And then we have YSKM's favorite trade. He loves going underneath tower to find the second proc of the Precision Protocol. Let's see if Gemini can survive this. As a flash in from Carries too, Gemini does manage to flash backwards and kick him out. We have the potential 3v3 on our hands right now. Carries going in for more, but he's going to run into the Nautilus. A double 2-man knockup. Hollow Ignite already going down onto him, and the Fate's Call goes through each side, trying to punch through the front line from each other. But so far, no names have been taken, and we do have Azir and Pretender both roaming down here, so the fight is called off.
And that situation was definitely very, very tense as the side of CFO tried to continue the engage to allow those stacks to continue building up. However, Frank Esports able to defuse the situation, reset the moment, and then give them an opportunity to really turn things with the Zeri.
Whoa, YSKM trying to find this 1v1 versus Rest. He has the Ignite advantage, but Rest has help here. YSKM going to, I believe that was a visual block, going to walk through the choke right there, but Gemini is still there. He's in the 1v3, nowhere for him to go, and Azir finds the kill. Bit of an overchase from YSKM.
Yeah, one of those rare fumbles from YSKM where he knows, well, the jungler was just seen in that bot lane. We're taking Dragon, so you're not going to have jungle support in the area to help you out, yet he continues to go for a deep invade, looks for the trade, and ends up getting heavily punished. So YSKM set behind, and once more, CFO's style or way of winning over Frank Esports feels pretty similar to what happened the past 2 matchups.
Yep, this is a 2-for-0 in the favor of CFO. They've won both head-to-heads, and they've looked very similar in how the games turned out. It's just Frank Esports, you've got great laners. Well, guess what? CFO has even better ones. Yeah. So it just always seems to be the case that Frank Esports are delayed in their game plan. Would you say that Frank Esports are necessarily feeling pressured, because their composition is still very strong and it relies a lot on movement outside of the lanes?
Yeah, the issue with moving outside of the lanes is the fact that Frank Esports, that's been really their weakest part of the game. They don't break out of the lane phase willingly very often. Usually it's after they've accumulated a lot of leads in the lane phase, and now Pretender.
Shun coming back is going to find the stretch line and the death charge, but Pretender's still able to walk away with the flash. We have Frank looking for a potential re-engage, but CFO already moving off that. They know the sweeper is down, so not going to chance it. Not going to give them any opportunities here, and we are going to start our Herald. Frank doesn't look like they want to contest this one as the support staff moves towards the bot side.
And still, the scaling is going to be on the side of Frank Esports to a degree, because you do have the Zeri, who should be able to outrange a lot of these champions later on, and the Zeri hasn't been punished. So while Atlan on the Kalista has been able to keep up and farm plates as well, He hasn't been able to accelerate that lead. And Eminem is in a very comfortable position to start really making an impact soon.
This feels like CFO caught, Frank Esports caught off guard in the lane allocation. They're going to lose both of their mid lane towers, while Eminem is still trying to get the bot lane. Yeah, that's going to be the second charge of the Herald, but onto the third tower in this push here by CFO. A massive power play that does send them ahead with a very comfortable gold lead now.
This is definitely a lot of extra map pressure now given over to the side of CFO. It's not necessarily a ton of gold, right? It's just 1,500, which at 16 minutes into game isn't insane. But now you can start really applying pressure and choking Hollow out of his jungle, because there are no mid towers left available at this early point in the game. So if you take away, if you constantly take away three camps, or maybe even just 2, that's, you know, 200-300 gold denied and 200-300 gold gains by your side. So these camps, if they get stripped away from him, it will slowly grow that lead for CFO.
We are going to get a Mountain Soul this time around, and Frank Esports going to try and secure this area. I do want to ask you, if it does come to a big team fight right now, who do you see coming out ahead here?
I would tend to favor Mission just because he has such a large power spike, right? He has the sword boots, he has the Ludens, he also has a large rod on top of it. And while Pretender can have a big impact because he's simply Silas, the raw amount of poke damage coming out from Mission will be incredibly difficult to deal with at this point in the game.
See how this fight goes down. We just saw the TP coming in from Pretender. Looks like they want to fight this one. Camille can find her way with the TP as well. CFO already starting onto the objective, but Pretender is close. He takes the Emperor's Divide. He's looking at a chance to strike. Carries on the front side. It will be a 4-man shove coming in from Pretender. Massive stuff here done right there, but it will be Holo going down first, and then the real Emperor's Divide coming in through by Mission. Frank Esports strike first, but they can't find the targets, and CFO also walk away with the objective.
Oh my god, it was definitely very, very close, and Pretender, he finds the angle to actually get a massive 4-mana Azir ultimate. But the issue was, Clement, he had the crown popped before, so he lost a lot of damage because of that. And again, this is just the amount of damage gap coming in from Mission. He's untouched in this fight. He's the one person that doesn't get targeted, and he has double pen completed along with an additional large rod. It is insane the amount of damage this champion is outputting this early in the game. Yes, it might not be great later on because you're into essentially 4 bruisers, but at this point in the game where there's no magic resistance built up, man, he is doing a lot of threat.
Well, what happened to Holo right there? Actually, did 0 damage in that fight. So CFO seemingly with an impeccable target selection there.
4v3.
We'll see. CFO looking like they want to
that's
take
an
this
ultimate
death charge actually from Frank Esports. There's going to be a back TP here coming in from Gwen, and they just let Pretender be. That seemed a little bit weird from Frank.
Yeah, that was a situation where once they saw that teleport come through, because they also know that YSCam didn't have his available, they just decide to bail out. And unfortunately, that's going to be another death for, actually only Pretender's first death. So, still going to slow them down quite a bit, and they are just playing on different, they're playing a different game, I guess. Because CFO have, it feels like they've been playing PvE.
Yeah, they've been moving around so well just in the laning phase and getting to objectives first. We haven't seen a big contest from Frank Esports, and the only one time they tried was actually a disaster. I'm so surprised that despite there was a 4-man Emperor's Divide from Pretender, Polo and Wise Cam just, I think they were just completely on the wrong side of the fight. They got focused down before doing anything. Yeah, just so weird to see that one happen. And now we have the massive 4,000 gold lead. CFO decidedly in the lead here. I'm looking at, I'm trying to think of angles where Frank Esports can come back into this one. And we do have to remember, they're playing for their postseason preview right here. It's going to be looking really bad if you head into this matchup with a 0-3.
Yeah, it definitely will be a big knock on the confidence. And now they're collapsing onto YSKM. It's going to be a 1v3 situation. And while you are slippery, a lot of people.
He tries to dodge to the left side to avoid the needlework, walks into the depth charge, and well, there goes YSKM.
3 ults for that, though.
True.
I mean, it's as worth as you can get in that situation if you're YSKM. Being able to burn 3 ultimates, unfortunately, Frank Esports not one of those teams that see those sort of timing windows and just immediately go for a hard engaged flip intention. And now they might just lose this inhib tower at 22 minutes.
Oh, Fate's Call being used right here. Shouldn't went a little bit too
Pretender
far.
on the backside.
Pretender still looking for a chance to engage right here. YSKM also does have the teleport. If they find any chances, nope. And the crown is also popped right here. So it seems like we are just going to start setting up into the next break. See both of these sides converging really quickly. Wonder if CFL want to finish that channel. They actually do. With Frank Esports, if they call the front, they could just walk in onto the objective here. See if Carries finds anyone. Oh, does see the Azir.
Oh no. Okay.
Already a back.
Should be an opportunity for them to establish control in the river area at the very least. It's just a matter of can they stop the side of CFO from walking back into this area, and it doesn't look like it's to be.
Yeah, they do have the hollowed mist from Rest though, something we should pay attention to. And taking a look, Emperor's Divide still there. CFO are going to start this. It would be Mountain Soul Point for them. Frank Esports doesn't look like they're going to be playing the flank in this one, just a front-to-back formation. Lots of poke coming through. MM already taking some damage, and CFO decidedly on the objective already. YSKM trying to feign with the hook shot here. Rest going to go forward with the Hollow Mist and just zone everyone away from the objective. Frank Esports going to go in though. Rest takes a lot of damage. He could just be falling down. Should onto the back line, and they get the kick onto M&M, but it's not enough. No follow-up just yet. They're going to use the Emperor's Divide. Just finish that one up. Gemini goes down. It's going to be jungler or the objective.
At the very least, Frank Esports managed to dig something out of it. But at the same time for CFO, they just continue to win out. Gemini on this Lee Sin pick and Mission on the Zir pick, really demanding a lot of the situation here. So a lot of things that Frank Esports aren't super good at, which is the early game and also being able to set up objective control. Those are really getting preyed upon in this particular game because you have just a lot of smite secure coming in from both the Lee Sin and the Kalista, and then you just have a lot of that early game pressure coming in from Mission's Azir.
Yeah, and CFO are pretty happy to just play the zone game here. Frank Esports, we talked about their winning strategy. It's about getting that first kill, but it seems so hard to do right now. The Fate's Call, also a great counter to this strategy. Shin now leading the charge into the enemy jungle. They are grouped up as 4 here. See if Frank wants to try their luck, maybe catch someone out. Polo going to be fishing with a hollowed path here. They're not going to find any stragglers so far. Meanwhile, really want to see what can be done into the bottom side. YSKM getting some alone time, and the Baron is started. Frank, catch wind of this. They do have to flash on Polo. YSKM going to TP in here, and Gwen is still so far away. This could be Frank Opportunity's chance. They start the fight onto Shun. It's going to be a 4-man depth chart, and that buys enough time already. But a 2-man stun into the backline. Shun already down. Polo gets his first kill. Atlas got nowhere to go. It's going to be a wipe here. And 3 for O. Double kill for YSKM. Only Mission limping away, and Gwen didn't even join the fight.
Trying to save that additional Baron buff. It is not to be. It will be Frank Esports. While they give up the Baron buff, they managed to remove 4 of those champions. Okay, this is kind of a little bit crazy, guys. They managed to get that extra bounty gold on that top tower after brute forcing it. So we get to see the replay. It's really just the side of CFO. They're committed to the Baron, but they're trapped in the pit now. They have nowhere to go. They've overcommitted in their positioning, and because Rest isn't there to buy space with that ultimated hollowed mist, it just allows Frank Esports to just walk into the pit and destroy them all. So at the very least, Rest walks out with 1, and that's going to allow him to try and hold some of the hold his own in the side lane. But look at that Baron power play, Clement.
That's probably the worst Baron flip I've seen in quite a while here. The positioning was so weird from CFO. Obviously, Gwen not in position, but also Azir didn't try to cover the path at all there.
Yeah, he didn't cover any flanks, didn't cover any entrances, and it was just all onto Nautilus. And Nautilus has a lot of CC, but he's not scary enough to scare away 4 people running at him. So unfortunately, that was the situation. So not a whole lot he could do there to actually help his team get out of that spot.
CFO are just going to push without their Baron carrier in the Gwen. 3-man push. They do see Pretender on the top side, so they're probably feeling okay with this one as they move towards the bottom. But correct me if I'm wrong, I feel like Frank Esports are ready to fight now with all those kills they just got.
They're definitely plenty strong. There's an engage possibly. You do want to look for an engage before the crown gets popped, and crown does get popped, so you're not going to get the bonus damage coming in from that item. And I haven't been too thrilled with this crown purchase so far, Clement. Seems like every single time he walks up to try and steal an ultimate, he gets it popped, and you lose pretty much half of the item's impact at that point. You'd much rather see an Everfrost being able to dive in and really lock people down with both the Zir ult and the Everfrost active.
We have a TP directly onto the cannon right here. It looks like both sides trying to get a better positioning, come in onto the fight. Rest gets caught off on the right side, loses about 1/3 of his HP, and they're going to go for the potential Mountain Soul right here. Wiseman shot just used Pretender. This is great positioning. He goes in. It's going to be a 3-man Emperor's Divide, but both Olo and Pretender just are immediately killed, and the real Emperor's Divide comes through. That's going to be a triple kill for the Gwen. Nowhere for Zeri to run, and CFO get a perfect ace.
It's a 5-0, and that might just be straight up the game. 29 minutes. These Death Tamers are fairly lengthy. CFO, they can just push for the win in this situation, and Frank Esports, they bet it all on that fight, and they come out with nothing.
I'm so surprised at how one-sided that fight actually was. It looked like Pretender got a great angle, and we were going to get a repeat, but didn't happen this time around. Great stuff from Rest, gets the triple at the end, and also finds the 3-0 over Frank Esports this split.